Hello and welcome to Microwhale. My name is Roland, and in this channel I want to talk about investing, focus on the crypto space. And today I just want to give like a general market update. We have August the 31st, and I want to talk about Solana ecosystem, NFTs, and the recently announced liquidity incentives on Avalanche, Fantom, and Celo. So let's just start off by talking about NFTs and Solana here. So Solana, I unfortunately missed out on this one because I looked at Solana a couple of weeks ago, and to me, the valuations of the project and its ecosystem just seemed completely over the top because there, in my opinion, wasn't like a lot of liquidity, not a lot of activity. But the valuations of Serum and Ray, for example, were just extremely high. Well, guess I was wrong because the Solana ecosystem now has like a lot of worth. And I want to explore in this like how this came to be. So first of all, I think like the main catalyst for that was NFTs, and with that also came gaming. So if we, if we look at NFTs, we basically have three types of people looking into NFTs. So first of all, we have the artists and collectors who don't necessarily come from the crypto space, but from the art space, who think that NFTs are a really nice form of digital art. And if you look at these people's wallets, we can see that, for example, artists selling their NFTs are making money. They are using this profit to buy other artists' NFTs. So basically, we can really see that like this is like a really real economy, NFT economy developing there. Then on the other hand, we have the investors and, for example, people who buy CryptoPunks and intend to hold them or maybe sell them in a few years from now, and thinking that this might be a piece of cultural heritage to the start of NFTs and also about like the whole crypto space. And I think there's a really good case to be made. And then we have the third class, which is something intertwined with the second class of investors, which is price speculation. And I think when we look at Solana and when we look at Ethereum, we have like now many projects which are like coming out with like 10,000 generated NFTs, etc. And when I remember correctly, there was even one guy on Fiverr who sold 10,000 generated NFTs that he's made, and I think they were like 100 or 200 times that he sold the services. So I guess like a lot of people made a lot of money with that. But what happened with NFTs is that the ETH gas prices, they just went insanely high. Just I think a few days ago we had like 3,000 Gwei per transaction. So this transferred to about I think $1,000 to $2,000 per transaction, which is just extremely insane. So this trend was like developing over the last few weeks. And people were looking for another option, right? Because they wanted to buy NFTs, but like the gas costs are just increasing so much. So Solana offered an alternative. And I think in a sense that Solana is basically a bet outside. If you don't want to invest in NFTs, you could have just invested in Solana. I don't know if it's like such a smart choice to do that today, because like it also already run up so much. But Solana is, they are predestined to basically accommodate like a lot of gaming tokens, and you can see that a lot of games that are announced, they are working with Serum and they are working with Solana. Now, if you look at Solana, we can see that there's actually not so much NFT activity there, and the best NFTs are still like on Ethereum. But still, Solana is basically a bet on a reaction to the market, to the high gas fees on Ethereum, and to the gaming and NFT narrative. And I do think that in the coming future, this will still play out for a while. And I think gaming is definitely a trend to stay. And NFTs will probably have a few cycles of bubbles and busts. And talking about NFTs, I do think it's necessary to give caution, because I do think that like a lot of not a lot of, but a few projects can maintain value, like for example CryptoPunks, maybe also Mooncats or other type of blue chip NFTs, I would say, because they have like some cultural connection. But I think like a lot of these 10,000 profile pictures, basically, they might drastically decrease in price. And I want to explore like a little bit on how this could happen. So at the moment, like people are paying insane amounts of money, like thousands of dollars to basically pay for like a squiggly line. So there might be some artists and art collectors out there who actually like want to own this, but I would argue that like 90% of them, they own these to sell them later at a higher price. So I think like there's a lot of price speculation going on here. And while I do think that NFTs are here to stay, this price speculation will probably end very badly when the first person intends to sell. And if you ever bought an NFT and want to sell it immediately because you regretted your decision, you can see that if you want to sell it immediately, you will have to lower your price drastically. Because in NFT land, which is a very illiquid asset, you have to compete with all the other non-fungible tokens, which is different than a fungible token, which can be exchanged on a decentralized or centralized exchange where you have a lot of liquidity, because it doesn't matter if you buy token A or token B from Bitcoin, because they are basically both the same. And this is different for NFTs because they are non-fungible. So you have to compete with all the other 10,000 of them for liquidity. So if you want to sell it, you have to lower your price sometimes more than you actually wanted to if you want to sell it immediately. So I think what will happen is if a lot of people are speculating on prices to go up forever, at some point people want to take profits, and then others don't want to miss a boat, so they lower the price and they lower the price. And I think the drop in prices can be far greater than people are estimating right now. Because at the moment the talk is about, it's a new paradigm shift and prices will go up forever because there are rich guys who want to own CryptoPunks, etc. But the thing is, these rich guys, they might own CryptoPunks, but I don't think that they're interested in any monkey from Solana or whatever. So it's very important if you want to invest in NFTs to figure out what are the blue chips. And of course, they come with a price tag. So my plan for right now is just to wait this out because I think there will come a drop in prices soon. And I think it will be bigger than most people expect. And I think actually like Solana could actually be viewed as a topping signal. I think when Solana is topping, I think this could be seen as a sign that NFTs might top soon, because I think Solana is basically like an indicator on how this whole ecosystem develops. Because even though Solana has great technology, and I do think it can have a very great future over the next few decades, and there's even a great interview about the CIO talking about how basically the NASDAQ of the future could run on Solana, but we are not there yet. There is no activity. There are almost no real good projects. And the games that are coming on Solana, well, they are not there yet. They have like great plans for the future, and maybe some of them will actually do it. But I think at the moment it's just like a lot of cash grabs that are bringing out NFTs for games that might never come. It doesn't mean that you can't make money with that, right? I mean, a lot of crypto is made of bubbles, but bubbles is where money is made. So you just have to watch out that you're either first or not last, or you're capturing like the value that is creating in these bubbles, for example, by investing in something like Curve, which is like facilitating all these transactions. But that's a video for another time. So yeah, NFTs I think are a very dangerous play if you don't invest into blue chips, and I think there's hell to come in the coming weeks. And Solana is a very good bet on NFT and gaming, but I think it should be viewed with caution as well. And I think if Solana is topping, I would view to exit a lot of NFTs. But I do think that Solana could easily 2x from here. So I'm not saying that this will happen overnight. And yeah, so now I'm going to come to my third point, which is like Avalanche, Fantom, and Silo.